Tired of your old kitchen or bathroom? Upgrade to the home of your dreams with Manny and Courtney from CMK Construction. CMK Construction is Tampa's award-winning kitchen and bath leader for over 20 years. Right now, save $3,000 on a new kitchen and $2,000 on a new bathroom. And take advantage of our no money down and no interest financing until 2026. Imagine, design, build.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A. This is Dennis Phillips Live. Brought to you by CMK Construction, crafting Tampa's most exquisite bathrooms and kitchens.
How you doing, everybody? It is a Friday evening, and I'm going to start right off by thanking all the folks who are watching on The Spot 66.1, the now official broadcast home of the Tampa Bay Lightning, as well as DPL. And having us on broadcast and streaming has been very beneficial of late because look, anybody who's been on watching this show, we've been doing this for years, right? We've only been on broadcast since July. But if you've been watching the show, we like to test, we like to try things out, and we get all the interaction from y'all. I mean, you guys give me the positive and the negative. Last night on TV, it was already over, but somebody said, boy, that was a really bad show because technically it was a bear. And I'm like, why don't you just rub some salt in the wound? So I literally went back behind and got some sea salt and poured it on top of my head because it was a rough show. But let me promise you, we have an amazing staff of IT and engineering folks. We've got all new computers, and we are literally trying to make this the fastest, the best show possible. And we all know there are growing pains with things. When we try new things, it doesn't always work the first time, as I look over to see if we're frozen, and we're not. You just got to hang with it. So on TV and on streaming, you had no issues at all. On social, there were. But see, this is a multi-platform show. That is the key to all of this. Because yes, you can watch on TV and you can hang out. But if you want to take part and find out all the shenanigans, the tomfoolery, and the foolishness that goes on the chat, that's where the life really gets going with this show. There's a ton of interaction. So many people on here and say, hey, DPL family, because that's really what it is. I'll give this example, and look, I've said it a million times before, but it's one of my favorite stories. So I had a meet and greet at the Crooked Thumb when they had our Rule Number 7 beer a couple years ago. Young girl, maybe 25, came in, and she had just moved to the area about a year, 18 months earlier, and she said she was lonely, she didn't have anybody, she was new to the area, and she fell into this group, and really, it made her feel like she had friends and family, and the whole virtual thing, I get it. The reality of it is this is not just a virtual group. We have had get-togethers. I'm sure we'll have more. Whenever our station does our community outreach and we go out and we go places, like tomorrow we're going to be at Ruskin. So there is a lot of interaction one-on-one. But my point was, she said, look, I was at a really dark place. I was lonely. I was by myself. I was really sad. And I fell into this group, and they supported me. They loved me. We had great conversations, and I said, are you on now? She goes, no, actually, at this point, I've got a boyfriend, and I'm busy at 7:30, so I don't have the time, but the point is, y'all got me through a really hard time. So that's what this group is. Yes, we talk weather. sometimes. Yes, we talk about our days. We talk about life's ups and downs, but we do it together. And I say that because, yes, right now we're solid green and I don't think we're freezing, but at the end of the day, it is a group that really cares about each other. And I'll use this example again. Years ago, somebody said it's like thousands of people out in their backyard with their lawn chairs, all talking over each other. No one really hearing what everybody else is saying, but it's that camaraderie, and that's what we have. So, I repeat, last night I showed you all the memes, the GIFs rather, from one of our engineers who's been working on our little freezing issue, and he's been pulling his hair out. He's a young guy, too. And he literally was in here about 20 minutes ago, and he's all flustered. He's all nervous. I'm like, it's going to be all right. Don't worry about it. We'll get through it. We'll fix it. We'll figure it out. We'll be better for it, and everybody's okay. So, again, and let me tell you, you guys, hopefully you've had a good day. I had, since this is a religious program this began as religious inspirational programming, so says the Spectrum Cable Guide, I can say this. This was a day from hell, and since it's a religious programming, I think I'm allowed to say that. I came in today, and for the first time in forever, I really started freaking out because when I tried to log into Facebook, it said password incorrect. I'm like, oh, I must have caps lock on. Password incorrect. I went to another computer. Password incorrect. I'm like, uh-oh, I know my password, and I was typing in my password, and it wasn't working. So all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going on here, but I forgot password. They sent me a new password. No. They sent me the two-factor authentication like I have, right? Hit it, logged back in, got in, right? Got back in, logged out, tried to log back in with the new password, wrong password. I'm like, man, what is going on here? Because you may not know this. Shay Ryan, who we all know and love, Shay Ryan got hacked a couple years ago on Facebook, and it is funny. It isn't funny, but it's funny. The hacker posted married with children memes on her page all the time. She had no access to it. That's all that was on her page was married with children memes. So I'm literally looking on my page, and I'm like, am I going to start seeing married with children memes on my page? Is it the hacker? So I don't know what happened. There was a 30-minute stretch. Matter of fact, when I was on TV at 5:20 to do the weather, I wasn't in the key wall for about 30 seconds. People are like, where's Dennis? I was on my phone typing the code in that Facebook sent me to try to get back into my Facebook page. Here's something else interesting. Yes, I know we'll get to weather, I promise, but here's something else I found. So I never really resolved it. I went to Instagram, my Instagram page, which I don't use Instagram a lot. I got in and I changed my Instagram password, which also then changed my Facebook password. And I didn't want to change it to my Facebook password. You had two choices. You had your Instagram password and your Facebook password. I picked my Instagram password. I changed it. I did not change my Facebook password, and it changed both. So I don't know what's going on, but it's a little scary. So I repeat, if you start seeing married with children GIFs on my page, you'll know what happened. Letting everybody know, got my USF Bulls hoodie on because the USF Bulls are taking on the Navy midshipmen tomorrow in Annapolis. And I want to give Paul LaGrone, our 5:30 anchor, and anchors some other stuff too, 6, 5:36, 5:36. Yes, I'm with him. I should know that. A couple of months ago, he's like, hey, Dennis, I think USF could get to the playoffs. I'm like, no way. Especially after they got beat by 1,000 points against Miami. I'm like, no way it's going to happen. And all of a sudden, the playoff predictions came out last week, and who is in the playoffs? Not in it, but who is predicted to be in the playoffs? The number 12 seed is the USF Bulls versus the number 5 seed, the Georgia Bulldogs. Wouldn't that be interesting? The early Vegas line on that would be 17 is what the prediction was. But holy cow. So You know, and if you've been watching USF, they're a fun team to watch. That team has got a lot of offense. They're a fast-paced, no huddle, go, go, go team. So anyway, kind of interesting. All right, so anyway, that was my day. I'm still trying to settle down. Let's do some hellos. I don't think we're frozen yet, so life is good. Steven, you can breathe. I know he's watching. I know he's watching because he's probably over in a corner somewhere like, It's all good so far. I'm seeing no freezing. All right, so we've got Lorraine. How you doing? We tried to have some fun with it, Lorraine. Look, when life throws you lemons, you hit the ban button and you walk away. That's what I say. And that's what we did last night. Dawn, how you doing? Angie, good to see you. Not happy that we're going to need the AC tomorrow. It's a true story. Kurt, yes, last night was a nightmare. And then that one lady's like, this show is terrible. There's a lot of problems. Like, you think? It's not always like that, but it was last night. Thank you, Aunt. I had a guy walk up to me at Publix a couple days ago, and he's like, hey, I love watching you on TV. I go, thanks a lot. I've been doing it for 3 decades. No. I was flipping through channels at 7:30, and I saw the show on 17. I'm like, you were watching on DPL on Spectrum? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So slowly but surely, one person at a time, we're taking over the world. Just saying, it's gonna happen. You guys right here, y'all watching on TV. I know you want to talk Thanksgiving week forecast. We're gonna talk about it. But first, we have our first break, and we'll be back with our forecast, which is a big warm-up coming up in 90 seconds as DPL continues. Okay, so no freezing. No freezing yet. So that is good. That is good. So far, so good. Terry in Brooksville, how you doing? Good to see you. How do you get one of these sweatshirts? Stephanie McKenna wants to know. Okay, you know what, Stephanie? I will show you. And the proceeds benefit local charities, which is even better. Go to Fourth Wall, all right? We'll talk about this coming back in, and I say it because it makes great Christmas presents, and the money goes to local charities. So I will show it. All right, here we go. This is the site. Because it's about time to buy Christmas presents. Yeah, no freezing yet. Debbie, I went with Diet Coke today. The Diet Dr. Pepper's there. So this is the website. And it's fourthwall.com, but if you do rule-7-shop.fourthwall.com, you'll go right to my homepage. We'll talk about that in just a second. We're back in 18 seconds. Take a swig. Anna Maria says, all right. Yeah, my voice is, it's getting better, I think. Idaho's in the house. How you doing, Lynn? Lynn, why are you in Idaho? We're back in 2, 1. Apparently, Lynn is in Idaho right now. Not sure why, but she's coming home tomorrow and wants to know if she's going to need her AC. Yes, she will. Joy, you're a Special Olympics athlete, gold medalist for swimming. Congratulations, Joy. That is awesome. That is amazing. Way to go. Thank you for sharing that. So we are not freezing. All right, what are we showing here? It's almost Christmas. The holiday season is here, all right? What a better way to share and give back at the same time, because all of the proceeds from the purchases on our Fourth Wall site benefit local charities, all right? So this is the website. If you Google Fourth Wall, F-O-U-R-T-H Wall, and the Fourth Wall Rule 7, you will get this page. And I'll go ahead and take it full and kind of show you all the stuff. Do not order on the Teespring site anymore. It doesn't work most of the time. I don't even use the Teespring. It used to years ago, but they started getting into bad places, and Fourth Wall is awesome. You get the stuff in a week or two. So you've got our OG tumblers, right? The OG design that we designed and used to make ourselves. You've got the wine tumblers. You've got all these hoodies. Those are the heat wave color, right? You've got pewter and red color. You've got green and gold, bull color. And you click on that and you got all these different things on it. See, like bags and big cups like Stanley cups and old school stuff and mugs and hoodies and bags and more T-shirts. And I love these mugs. These mugs are awesome. So, and they all come within like a week or two. So you'll get them in plenty of time for the holidays. We've got Snuggle Alert stuff. So anyway, again, all proceeds benefit, especially Feeding Tampa Bay. Feeding Tampa Bay has been the one that we've been using most of all lately. So there's the Gator color. There's some hats, right? There's some garnet and gold colors, black and gold colors. So you go, we got all the colleges out there. Got some mouse pads, Snuggle Alerts. A local really nice guy, his art team designed this one with the Dennis coffee mug, which is pretty hysterical. And also Snuggle Alerts. And there's our OG original Don't Freak Out one right there. The original OG logo that we had from years ago. And there's a rash guard and more wine tumblers and candles. Anyway, bags, more hoodies, zip hoodies, non-zip hoodies, and all proceeds benefit local charities, including Feeding Tampa Bay. So if you Google, well, the address is rule-7-shop.fourthwall.com. But if you want to, you can just Google Fourth Wall, Rule 7, and it'll pop up and you click on it. So there you go. All right, people were asking about how we could get the hoodie, and I wanted to share that. All right, let's talk about the local forecast, right? Yes, correct, Michael. By the way, Michael, thank you for the timer. Appreciate it. Steve Weigel is retiring. Steve is the chief Met in West Palm. Been there 28 years. The guy owns South Florida. Been there forever. Super nice guy. And he announced his retirement a couple of days ago. All right, so there's a look at local radar. And all's quiet. Now, I'm going to mention something here. I find it a little fascinating. So temperatures right now anywhere from the mid-50s to the low 70s. St. Pete, 71. These are the current temps. 55 Crystal River, 69 Tampa, 60. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go back. What is the current temperature in Bradenton? The current temperature in Bradenton is 67. My daughter. Sorry, my daughter. She just rubbed off on me. Can't help it. Yes, Angela, it was the best hurricane season ever for us, for the U.S. Unfortunately, it was, horrific for Jamaica. I mean, they're still cleaning up. That was just, it was like an EF3, EF4 tornado that went right through that area. So we've got temperatures right now in the 60s and 70s. Lows this morning started in the mid-40s to the mid-50s, Clearwater to Tampa, to the lower 60s, St. Pete, 56 in Sarasota. Pamela still has her tank top, which was shipped from the Netherlands. Well, you know what? No, that was Teespring. That was Teespring. We are no longer with Teespring because they just host us over and over and over again. Now we are with Fourth Wall, and they're much, much better. Jessica, how you doing? Good to see you. Highs today, still got upper 70s to low 80s. Right now, Tampa, 69 degrees and clear skies. Northerly winds at 7. Great view of Rivergate there from Rivergate. 81, the high 2 degrees above average. The morning low dropped down to 58. All right, now I want to mention something. So the last couple of fronts that have gone through, most of the models have been completely unimpressed with them and not showing any rain at all. This one model we're looking at right here is our in-house model. And the last two events, it brought rain in. Nobody else did. Weather Service didn't have it in their forecast. Nobody mentioned it. Both times it rained, and a good bit in some spots. I bring that up because will this be the third time as a charm? Because on Sunday morning, oh, you know what? No, that's Saturday, yeah. Yeah, Sunday morning, it does have a few sprinkles out there. Now, I did read in the AFD from the Weather Service, they are saying maybe a bit of drizzle with some fog on Sunday morning. So I think they are respecting the fact that some of the models are hinting at that. So yeah, there could be a bit of drizzle or some low clouds and some fog on Sunday morning. All right? Not Saturday, on Sunday. Okay? And maybe a shower later in the morning into the afternoon. So what will my thoughts be? Will the Rays stay in Tropicana Field? Well, yeah, they're going to stay there, David, through their contract, I'm assuming, through 28. And then at that point, they will be going elsewhere, I would assume. Parrish had no temperatures because I guess the sensor went down, is my thought. So there is a look at Sunday evening. Tomorrow morning, low temperatures, 50s and 60s. Low to mid 50s, Citrus, Hernando, Pasco County. You're right, Angie. We need rain. We need rain, not drizzle. And unfortunately, we got nothing. We got nothing. We are now in a moderate drought. I showed you that yesterday, although you might not be able to have seen it because we were frozen most of the time. And unfortunately, I just don't see any rain in there. And that, alas, is our forecast. Highs tomorrow, beautiful, upper 70s to low 80s. Long range keeps us very warm right on through next week. So there's a look at the 7-day. No, they're not moving, Michael. That team will stay here. They are absolutely, positively going to stay there. I have inside information on this. They ain't going anywhere. They ain't going anywhere. So there's the 7-day, all right? So when we come back, we're going to talk about, we're going to look at the models. We're going to talk about Thanksgiving week. And I'm going to give my thoughts on a movie I'm very excited that came out this week, The Running Man. The original one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I was not a fan because I'm a huge Stephen King guy, and the ending was totally different from how the book ended. But I'm hearing rumblings that this one is more true to the original source matter. That Thanksgiving forecast as Dennis Phillips Live continues. And yet again, I'm heavy. Yeah, the Rays aren't going anywhere. All right, so I've been looking forward to this movie for a while because I recently read The Running Man. I've read, I believe, every Stephen King novel and short story ever written by him. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. And so without giving it away, by the way, I listened, if you ever listen to The Running Man on Audible, be really careful because before the book, there is a author-written preface, and it's called Being Richard Bachman. Stephen King had a pen name who he never wanted people to know it was him, but a big superfan found out it was him and ruined the secret. But anyway, in this preface, which was nothing to do with the book, The Running Man, he gives away the ending of the book. He literally says what happens to the main character. And they never took that out of that Audible. So if you ever listen to an Audible book, if you listen to The Running Man, and it's a great listen, it's great. Don't be sure not to listen to the preface because it'll give away the ending. And I'll tell you, the ending is not like the movie. How you doing? Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live. We're just talking about The Running Man. Really looking forward. Wicked comes out in a couple weeks. Looking forward to that. I'm a big Wicked guy. Love the book, The Running Man by Stephen King. The movie with Schwarzenegger was a completely different ending. How do I put this? The book ending was not necessarily a happy ending, but it was a realistic ending, I think. Whereas in the original movie with Schwarzenegger wins. Of course he does. And so it's a totally different ending. And I hated it. Hated it. I'm curious if the new Running Man is more true to the source material of the book. And I'm going to be seeing it tomorrow, actually, and I think I'm going to see it on Sunday as well. But again, I repeat, if you ever listen to the book on Audible, I was saying this to the folks on social, don't listen to the preface, Being Richard Bachman. Bachman was Stephen King's pseudonym and pen name. And in that, he wrote, and it was read before listening to The Running Man, he read what happens at the end of the book. Totally ruined the ending of the book. And it was completely different from the movie, the original movie. We'll see about the new one. All right, so let's look at some models real quick and talk about what's going to happen for the week of Thanksgiving for travelers, all right? Okay, so we are going to look at the GFS. Start with the GFS. This is the 2-week forecast. Tomorrow, what you're looking for are these blue lines. These blue lines are the 540 line, right? And the 540 line is where the cold air is. It's in the Northeast. Tomorrow in Annapolis, it won't be all that cold, so decent for the Bulls. There's Sunday. There's Monday. Big storm out west. Big storm in California. See that? Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A storm develops in the plains. Let's see if the Euro shows the same thing. Pretty close. So both models are showing a significant storm in the plains from next Thursday to next Sunday. But look where the cold air is, way north. No cold air for us. Here's the week of Thanksgiving. Monday, Tuesday, potentially another low pressure developing in the plains. That's a massive storm in the Great Lakes 2 days after Thanksgiving. It's 2 weeks out. It's probably going to be wrong, remember? It's probably going to be wrong. So, just like the hurricane season, it's usually wrong. But there's the GFS in 2 weeks. Look at the Euro. Yeah, you know what? They both have a storm. They both have a storm. So both models are hinting around Thanksgiving, and here is Thanksgiving. The Euro has some storms in the Midwest, some snow in the plains. The East looks good. The GFS has a little bit of snow in Maine. But the Euro does have a huge cool down behind it the weekend of Thanksgiving. The GFS, not so much, but it's still there. So what does that mean? That means right now we stay warm next week, maybe a front toward the end of next week, but no cold air behind it. Up to Thanksgiving Day, staying warm in Florida. Could be a big storm across the plains in the Ohio Valley shortly after Thanksgiving. And then that following weekend, bringing some cold air down. So the Florida State game, the rivalry games could have some cold and stormy weather that weekend. But for us, no cold air through Thanksgiving. Back in 90 seconds for our last segment on Dennis Phillips Live. All right. Robert, thank you. Which fantasy league are you in that I am in? Because I'm in 9 of them. So I'm not even sure. Not even sure who is in. Is that the one with Todd Wright? Is that Todd Wright's league? I had a bad week already because I had May as my quarterback who got a bunch of nothing, and I had Breece Hall who I knew wouldn't do anything and didn't do anything. So yeah, I'm going to lose this week. I don't have Todd's. Yeah, I don't have the best team in that league. I'm in the mid. I'm in the middle, and I can't say that it was bad luck. I just didn't draft well. I didn't draft well. I almost took